Against my better wishes, I gave the dog more food.
Oh, okay.
Because I think she was just going to annoy me until I gave her
She
more
was
food.
I'm
Even
hungry.
though she already had lunch and dinner isn't for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And she's going to ask for more food when it's dinner time, even though I'm feeding her now. So, but she pushed me. She broke me. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Bear thing.
Welcome to the show. I am profusely sweating. I'm just so hot.
Really? You want me to turn that fan on?
Maybe.
Your number one fan?
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. You got any stories for us?
Yeah, I'm hot. That's not the story. Okay,
Keep
so
my house 102 so that the devil will stay away from you.
ooh, tap a Tio, tap a Tio. Anyways, so start off with a great story. I almost died. I think that's the best way to start the story.
Is that
right?
it?
Yeah, it's freaking fantastic. Yeah, so I almost died. We'll give it a little preface. So worked all day until about.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then zoom on me. Cut this gap here. What? Really? Tell me more.
Okay. So what happened is, working all day, we had 70 windows to do at a house.
Mr. Popular.
We had 70 windows to do at a house.
70 windows, that makes you pretty popular, I
That's-
imagine. That's why you get all these phone
Oh
calls.
yeah. But proud of us because in 2 days we dropped 70 windows in that house. That was with me
That's a lot.
sawing. I was
Hi,
I was
I don't know if
hanging
I'm
out.
still in the camera.
I was hanging out 3 stories. No, 2 stories at one point. Basically, almost 3-story drop. With my foot hooked up on the inside on the windowsill with a sawzall, and just cutting into the window, hanging out the window like this, and like so, we knocked them all out.
Fun.
Oh, dude, it was needless to say very petrifying at moments because it's like the sawzall doesn't go in there properly, so you have to angle it a certain way so it can get its little cuts in it, and then you can go straight.
Yeah.
If you don't do it right, it goes boom and like launches you for a second.
Great.
So like at one point I went and I grabbed onto the wall. I was like, okay, let's go. So.
Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy.
Oh yeah, so we do this. We get all the windows out.
Construction, am I right?
Yeah, I do. Construction's a lot of fun, honestly though. We get all the windows out. It's now 4:30. Good day because we've been leaving to get home around 7:30, 8 o'clock at
Look,
night.
she's back. It only worked while I was feeding her. It only worked while she has food in her bowl. I
Go
got
lay
to put
down.
more food in her bowl. It's the only option.
So we get off at about 4:30, and my boss is like, "Hey, you know what? We did a good job today. Just trim tomorrow and the next couple days because 70 windows we have to trim.
Mm-hmm.
But we've caulked all the inside. We put all the windows in. It's great." So he's like, "Yeah, everyone, let's go home." One of the other guys, he's like, "I'm gonna take him with me to go look at the new trucks that he bought."
Go lay down.
And then, so that guy was like, "Hey, take my vehicle and go home." So Trevor and I get in the car. We're driving down the road. And I was just chit-chatting about work, trying to figure out how things are going to work here in the next couple
Is this
weeks.
when you had your science talk about the parallel?
That was the same day. That was the same day, but that was earlier that morning.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we're driving down the road, him and I just chit-chatting about work and trying to figure out how things are about to work out. And doing a lot of math on this. That's all we did. And then all of a sudden,
Because of inflation?
no, we were just
There you go,
doing,
Maddie. That one's for you.
yeah, that was for you. Only for you. No, we were just doing math on bringing in that cheddar, Like, we're getting greedy eyes, So,
Did you consider the inflation with how much that money really is that you're bringing it in?
it doesn't matter.
There you go, Maddie. That one's for you.
It doesn't matter. So, all of a sudden, we get to this cross area in Ooltewah going back roads to
There.
Cleveland.
Lay down.
And
Or lay down there.
it's
that's
a
fine.
yellow light, right? And we're about, I'd say from
Lay down.
me, from where the camera actually is here, to your,
Lay down.
uh,
She's just
your
going
stoop
to...
right there, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
from me to the stoop is roughly where the truck is to the line, where the lights turn yellow.
10 foot.
So it's like, there's no way we're going to be able to stop. We're going the speed limit, which is, I think, 35, maybe 40 on that road.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there's no way we're going to be able to stop in time. So we just keep going, because it just turned yellow.
Yeah.
Someone else is coming but we can't see them because the person on our side of the street is in the left lane turning as well, getting ready to turn, and we can't see the person on the other side of the street turning left. So we go through, and all of a sudden we see them as we're coming through, and we're like, "Oh crap!" Said way worse words, and I was like,
"Thank you for censoring yourself."
Yeah, I was like, "Cool." And so he turns to like get out of their way, and they hit us in the back end, and that straightens us up enough that we nail. I mean, we smash into this light pole. After him and I talked about it, we're both pretty sure we went unconscious, but it was one of those where it just all happened so fast you don't know.
Yeah,
fully.
it's crazy.
Shoved the engine into the middle of the seat between the two of us. The windows shattered, all that stuff. I'm covered in glass. Knocked my glasses off, the airbag did, and all that. And this is why I think we passed out, is because I looked at him, something happened, he smacked his head.
You know, honestly, I've heard worse. This doesn't sound that bad. We should just skip it.
It doesn't sound that bad. It's beautiful. But we both hit, done. I come to, which is the first time this has ever happened to me, by the way, but I'm shaking. Like, I've been in car wrecks that are pretty bad before, or even ones that really didn't end up bad but could have been really bad. And I've never been like...
Dude, you had on collision of power pole, or like the steel beam.
Yeah,
like,
but I flipped my car end over end 3 times, and I crawled out of my
That's
car
true.
and
That-
just sat
that,
there and
yeah,
waited
you-
for the ambulance. That didn't cause me to go into shock or anything like that.
That story, you fellas out there, if you think I just seem disinterested, that's why I seem disinterested. I've seen James survive worse. I'm just glad he's here.
Yeah, but no. In comparison, that was definitely did not seem like a worse wreck. But
lay
like,
down, please. For the love of
Trevor
God.
had to get 7 stitches in his eye or in his eyebrow because he smashed his head hard enough that like he looked like a war movie. Blood was just pouring down his face, all over his beard and shirt and pants. And I just look over him like, oh my God, you know, like, and I'm shaking. People are trying to talk to me. I'm pretty sure I'm in shock at this point because like I'm hurting, but I couldn't tell you exactly where I'm hurting. I just know I'm in pain. And then I get out. Adrenaline is what's pumping through me because I get over, go help Trevor, start doing stuff, and as the adrenaline calms down, I notice my chest is just like hurting. Like, I am in a lot of pain all of a sudden.
And that's when you
like,
went to the hospital because the paramedic arrived and you said, "Yeah, I'll go for a checkup."
No, I did the James thing and said, "I'm fine. Check that guy, the one who's profusely bleeding." And they're like, "We have someone over there."
Good call.
I was like, "All right, cool." And then my sister, being a doctor herself, checked me out as well. And then they wouldn't let me go home because my blood pressure was so high that they thought I was going to have a stroke or a heart attack. Come to find out, I may have a couple broken ribs. Well, I guarantee I have one, may have 2. And yeah, but crazy. I wish I could show you guys the picture. I may send it to Austin so he could impose it if you want. I don't know how you would do that.
I don't have that ability yet.
Alright, so yeah.
We don't have the technology.
Yeah,
we
we
have
have
the
the
mythological computer. We don't have the technology.
Yeah, so unfortunately we can't show you the picture, but yeah, it was a pretty bad wreck. It was a lot of fun.
I don't know. We might have the technology. I'll try and figure it out. You go ahead and email it to me, and I'll see if I can do something now. I'll try and work some magic.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that was my almost died story, and since then a lot of things have happened. That
Well, hold
I
on.
keep
We
talking.
gotta stop for a second while we place the photo, so I can put the photo in, and then now we. Oh, geez, yeah. Look at that.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, you see
Which
it,
side
right?
of that were you on?
I was a passenger.
Oh
so
my goodness.
this side, if you're looking at the photo. This
And
side.
it looks like you had it easier.
Oh,
Looks like Trevor really went out of his way to save your life there.
he did. He definitely took it more of the brunt than I did.
Alright, good man, Trevor. This one's for you.
Yes, sir. I'm glad we're both here, Brody.
Cool under pressure. That's what that one's too.
Oh, dude, that was one thing I was proud about both of us. Like, okay, even within shock and us both being like, so we asked each other the right questions. Can you walk? Are you okay? And it's like, okay, yes, we both checked ourselves out, and then we got out of the vehicle, and it's like, call Justice? All right, cool. Call John, let him know what's happened. All right, call your girlfriend, make sure she knows you're not dead, we're all fine. The car looks worse than we do. We do all those things, gather all of our stuff from the vehicle. Like, I found most of his stuff, he found most of mine. It was weird because we both walked in there looking for our own stuff, and it was just like, I can't find it, disoriented and all that, but I saw random stuff of his, and I was like,
This is
okay. And then he did the same thing, and then we came together, and we're like, oh, this is yours. It's like, cool. And like, then we both just sat there and waited for the ambulance and everything. But like,
Yeah.
I was proud because everyone thought we were just like, they were like, are you guys sure you're okay? And we're like, we're golden. We're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And apparently he hit the steering wheel before the airbag deployed.
Yes.
That's
He
crazy.
smacked the crap out of
So that's
him.
like getting punched in the face twice.
Yeah, because he went, because I think it was the bump, like going to the pole.
Yes. Yeah.
Is what
the
caused
sudden
him-
stop.
Yeah. It was like, well, not even the sudden stop at the point, because it was like, went over the curve thing.
Oh yeah.
And then,
okay.
so I think that's what made him in his
Okay,
head.
uh-huh.
And then,
Impact. Boom.
yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, so, like, the fact that
I'm
he
glad you
was
guys are
able to
alive.
walk and do stuff, I was blown away.
Did we start a timer?
Nope. Just like us. No, but yeah, that was a good one. So you have a story though too.
Well, I'm glad that you survived that.
Uh,
It reminds me of the time that I went through a traffic light and got hit.
oh,
So it was a yellow light, same thing. They were taking a left. Apparently, according to the police report afterward, the other driver's passenger said, just go for it, just go for it. And she was unlicensed.
the passenger?
No, the driver
Oh,
was unlicensed and hit us. The part that I remember that I think was craziest is that when they were coming, and so then I turned into it because otherwise it was going to hit more center.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to turn into this curve, and then also, hopefully if I turn, because it was a Mini Cooper, I could turn pretty freaking sharp.
Yeah.
So I was like, hopefully if I could turn this, we'll almost just bump and rub, go in the same direction. Otherwise, at least my side of the car is getting hit, not the passenger side of the car. We hit, it slides me into another car, hit the car. It's nowhere near as bad as yours is, though.
But
Don't
okay,
get me wrong.
so this is
Hold on.
something I was told
Yeah.
with that kind of. So with the same situation,
Yeah.
I was told that instead of what everyone's natural reaction is to do is kind of just to do what you said,
Mhm.
like where we all, even us, did the turn away from them.
I was going crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
there she is.
Yeah.
Like so we can guide. Apparently, the actual better one to do is to turn towards them, but like because if they're coming already this way, you're coming this way.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently if you turn this way sharp enough, you should actually just bypass each other.
Okay. That's
And I was
also
like-
assuming that they don't correct by turning right instead of left.
Yes, but a lot of people don't. They go right.
Yeah.
So like if they would have gone right, they would
And
have gone this way.
I imagine they also turned right, which is why they hit me.
Well, yeah, because you both went this way. That's right. Doop. You both went boop.
No, I mean, they were turning left,
Mhm.
and so then I turned right, but then I think their natural instinct was also to turn right. So my turning right, they still turned into me.
Wait, so
Does that
how?
make
At what
sense?
point were you guys
Because if
coming
we're
out?
coming like this,
Yeah.
okay, if we're coming like this, and they're turning left,
Yep.
and so I turn right, and then they freak
Oh,
out
they
and
were in
they
front of
turn
you.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so your situation that wouldn't work because it was the day I was talking about this, like, because I thought you were meaning kind of how we were, where it was going to be a T-bone.
No,
So, like,
no, we were. It was
because
gonna be a
then
head-on
you would've
collision.
been like, boom.
It was gonna be a head-on collision.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But turning left, yeah, I get that. I see how that would be more beneficial.
Yeah.
But the main point, though, is that the first thing that happened was the passenger. I remember watching them get up and run out of the other car that hit us, and I'm like, well, that's a great sign. This is a good way to start it.
Wait, the
Then-
passenger just bolted?
Yeah, and then learned later that the passenger was the one that said, just go for it. And then got out of the car and ran. Then the most annoying part, though, is that the driver of the vehicle came over and tried to pull out my passenger. They tried to pull the passenger out of the car, and I'm like, no, let us take a minute to figure out what's, because we
Yeah.
literally had just ended, and their first reaction was to get out, run over to us, and
Yeah,
try
which
to
is
pull us
nice
out
of
the
them
car.
to check on you, but you're
No,
not
pulling
supposed to,
out of the
You're not
car
supposed
is
to
not
pull them out. Yeah.
checking.
Yeah, you're not supposed to pull anyone out of the vehicle because accordingly, there's a chance they could have been pinned.
Yeah.
Anything could have happened.
Yeah,
so
that's why we
releasing
needed
any
a few minutes to
pressure-
look at each other.
Yeah, and figure out what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, we stayed in the car until the EMT showed up because I was like, even though I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm completely good. I know what's
Yeah.
going on here. I've checked me, checked her. We're all good. Everything. I was like, let's still wait because of shock. I was like, let's wait a second. I'm gonna have someone else look at me and say that's not in shock and go, yeah, no, nothing's hanging out of you.
Yeah.
There's no major
You're
gashes
fine.
that you're not noticing. You can get out of the vehicle. And I was like, sweet, I got out. We got out. But yeah, that's my very abridged version. Just because when you were talking about that, those two things came to mind. The freaking trying to yank us out of the car and the freaking running as soon as and then the
running.
just go for it, just go for
The
it.
running is the part that gets me. It's like,
Who knows what that was
why
about?
did they run? Like, did they show up later on? So they just
They were
bolted.
gone.
They were like, bye.
Yeah, they were
That's
just out.
That's a crappy friend. I'm sorry. If I was in a vehicle with someone and we wrecked,
Especially after you were the one that said, "Hey, go for it."
yes, and we wrecked, I would definitely make sure that they were okay. I would definitely make sure that everyone else is okay.
Bull.
And then we just sit there and take the consequences. I don't care if I have a
Bull.
freaking warrant on me or whatever.
No,
We're
you
gonna
gotta
sit
pull-
there and just wait. And see what happens.
You gotta pull the world famous grab 'em and bag 'em. And was that his name? Grab 'em, bag 'em, tag 'em, bag
Tag 'em
'em,
and bag 'em.
tag 'em, bag 'em.
Yeah.
You gotta pull a tag 'em, bag 'em, bro. You immediately run to the nearest water source, find a jet ski, and begin a water high-speed chase in a wake-free zone. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to make you laugh.
You're good.
That's the only option.
That's ridiculous. Oh no. See, yeah, that's insane. Why would you do that? Just bolted.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see how much longer we have. I don't want to tell this story, but if I have to, I will.
I think you have time.
Crap, I have
You
to.
Totally time. How much time do we have?
We have like 10 minutes.
Alright, so 10 minutes is we got. Go.
Uh-huh.
So Austin has a story about nude beaches. I was gonna try to say it a different way, but then I realized it just gonna come off like a
It would
cuss
just
word.
be
So
worse.
it was like, no.
It's better to say
Yeah,
beach.
yeah.
Okay, so it's not really. I lied to you earlier whenever I said it was about that. That was just to hype up the story. It's not about a nude beach. It is, however. It is, however, about a time that I was on a beach in another country.
Do me a favor. Type your address. I don't want you to say it.
Okay. Can you talk while I do this?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I'm actually having him do this because my grandma's gonna come by and bring some potato soup and I think cornbread. I'm not certain what she said.
You want the whole thing?
Yeah, just so I could send that to her, and because I had her go to my address, but then it was like, oh, well, I'm gonna probably stay here and not
There you
drive
go.
home.
That should be right. I think I did that right. I probably should. No, wait. I added an extra comma. I like adding commas to things. So yeah, actually, I was just on a beach in another country, so it was pretty cool. There was actually a few of us there. One of our frequent guests, Maddie, she was there with us.
For the beach?
Yeah, while we were at the beach. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really stellar. It was really cool. We rented a car and drove around the car. And I sat in the trunk.
When was this? Where was that? Why did I know this story?
So, can I tell my story?
Yeah, sorry, I just had so many
Do
questions.
stories
running through
have
my
to be
head.
true, or are stories stories?
I mean, that depends.
So, we're in another country. We've rented a car. I'm sitting in the trunk.
Okay.
The bottom of the car was rusted out, so you could just see straight through the floorboard onto the road.
Okay.
We were driving around the island for hours, and it was a ton of fun. We decided to stop at a beach.
What a beach.
Yeah, I think it was technically a private beach, so we had to. By private, I mean you had to pay to get on it.
Okay.
You know, like
So not like, hey, you
it
can't
wasn't
be on
just a
this
public
stretch.
beach.
You can't be on this stretch of land.
Yeah, it was a private beach, but it was like an amusement park beach. You know, where
Okay.
it's like, oh yeah, you can come. This is the most beautiful spot on the island, so we charge people $50. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making up. a
Yeah,
price.
yeah. I'm hoping it's not. It's insane.
Yeah, especially back then, it was probably only like 3 pence,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
because the American dollar was worth so much more than foreign islands, so it was pretty cheap to get anywhere. Because like you could go to India and buy a meal for an entire table for $10, like 10 people, $1 a piece with American money. It's crazy. It used to be worth so much more than it is now. That's for you, Maddie. Inflation.
Inflation.
That was for you. So,
All right.
She wanted me to talk about it. She wanted us to talk about inflation. I'm giving it to her.
yeah, no, I'd rather do this way than actually sit and talk
Having
about
to actually
inflation.
talk about inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, we were there, got some drinks, went to this great restaurant, got bottled Coca-Colas, bottled Sprites, so good. Like the glass bottled
Yeah.
one, where the tall ones too. That's the 24-ounce glass bottles. Oh,
I didn't know they made those.
authentic food. you know, wasn't a tourist attraction area.
Like, you actually went into the...
Yeah, we went into the heart of the city on the island. Oh, so good. So delicious. I got mugged. Well, I got threatened to be mugged, but I think I've told that story before, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we go to this beach and everything. We're having a great time. And I'm talking with this couple, and they're being really sweet, and it is, you know, talking about where they're from and everything. We're all tourists in the area. And then she takes her top off. There you go. That's my nude beach story.
The tourist takes her top off?
Yeah. There you go. That's my nude beach story.
Okay. Well, and then the question is, was the beach itself
White sands, very beautiful.
a nude beach?
No.
So she just broke the law?
Yes.
Okay.
In a foreign country where they probably don't care.
Yeah, probably not. But I was just making sure. Like, it wasn't like it was a nude beach. You guys have to show up, and then
No, there's no one else naked.
yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, whatever. If it gets her off, it gets her off. Whatever.
There you go. That's my nude. So that didn't take nearly as long as I was hoping it would.
No. But
Cause that's it. There you go. That's all I got to talk about. I mean, I could embellish it more.
go down.
Should I embellish more? I can embellish.
I mean,
more.
you can if you want. I don't know if I have questions on this one. I wanted to have.
Ask questions in the comments. I'll answer them now. So,
Yeah.
what did she look like? Well,
Maybe that's going to be a question. I don't know. Was she pretty?
yeah, she was gorgeous. Yeah,
Okay.
she was beautiful.
Okay. Like, now, are you
Yeah.
saying beautiful in the sense of being like, yeah, everyone's beautiful in their own
Yes,
way?
everyone's beautiful. Yeah.
Is that the way you're saying beautiful, or are you
Well, this
saying
isn't
like,
the only time I've had a girl take her shirt off in front of me in public, so, or her top off, I guess I should say, because that was a bikini top, and I've had shirts off as well.
No, I mean,
And those weren't nearly as beautiful women. They were more you go girl. Well, she was actually beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that the you go girls are the more like everyone's pretty in their own
Everyone's pretty in their own way.
way. So because you have your own like you have your this is what I think is beautiful,
hmm
and then there's the as just a person you're pretty.
I like to think that what I think is beautiful is the normal thing to think is beautiful.
Oh no. Because after like I learned early on after hanging out
at me, dog?
with my friend you know Andrew. Like him and
Andy, yeah, Andy and I go way back.
him and I would have not arguments, it would just be disagreements on who was pretty or not pretty. Because we both like hit on these girls or whatever when we were younger.
Yeah, but there's agreed upon
And it's like-
pretty.
There is a rough agreed upon pretty, I'll give you that.
Yeah, there's a rough agreed upon
And like
the words you said, I say them back to you.
Yes.
Pronounced correct. Pronounced.
Pronounced. Yeah, I was curious about that one. But yeah, no, so I was like, him and I would get into these arguments about what is considered
Okay, go lay
pretty or beautiful. Because I'd be like, man, that chick. He's like, no, not at all. And I was like, explain to me why. And then he would give me these, whatever his reasonings being. And then he'd point out a chick. I'd be like, are your eyes broken? So we'd have basically these arguments where we just did not see pretty eye to eye.
Okay.
And like, I learned it very early on. And I was like, okay. So everyone has a different opinion. Because like, growing up, you just think if you see someone think it's beautiful, other people probably see it as beautiful. Like, nope, learned it very quickly. That's not the case. People don't do that. And so it blows my mind because I've seen some people.
Have you ever seen a 10? If we're going down this road, you ever seen
No.
a 10? Nope, me neither.
No. Never seen 10.
There's this one that's really, really close. Never seen a 10.
I've seen some very gorgeous people. I would still never.
But it is
get
one of
to
those things
10.
where like a 10 shouldn't exist, right?
No, 10 is a freaking unicorn, and I
It
hope
needs
to God.
to be a unicorn.
Yeah, and if I ever do see a 10, it better be on my deathbed, you know? Like, where it's just like the last majestic thing I've seen. You know, like the last rainbow you're ever gonna see in your life? That's what that 10 needs to be, is you're laying in bed, dying, and all of a sudden you're just like, there she is.
But what you
Now
don't,
I can rest.
what you don't realize is that it's like a totally like a 3.
Oh, yeah.
But you're like delirious
Yeah,
as
you're-
you're dying, and you're just like,
All
wow,
that-
the most beautiful woman ever.
That DMT is
A
just
10,
flooding your
yeah.
brain.
Wow, a 10.
Yeah, no.
Whatever you say, honey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, I don't know. I always have to ask a question about prettiness. Oh!
Story time.
Well, no, not really, because this is something we can talk about later. and because I've been wanting to talk about it, and I think I've mentioned it multiple times now, the duality of reality. Because that comes into it.
So why don't we just do it here? Why not?
Yes.
Let's finally do it. We don't have another 5 minutes of talking about something, so let's do duality of
Okay, so
the duality of man?
No, the duality of reality.
Alright, explain this one to me.
Alright, so...
Is this anything to do with time cube?
No. It just has
Look
to
up
do-
time cube.
Me?
No.
Oh. Okay, it just has to do with perception of reality.
Time cube.
Is that what time cube is? Is
That's
it perception of reality?
reality.
Okay, but yeah, where it's like, okay, your reality and my reality are not exactly the same at all. Though we both exist in this
Oh, that's not time cube.
overall reality.
Yeah, that's not time cube. Never mind.
Okay, cool. Though we both exist in the overall same reality, does not make it that actual reality. So duality of reality is that nobody on this earth sees the world the exact same. So therefore, your reality is your perception, or your perception is the reality of what
Right.
it is. And so, Drew and I got into that whole conversation with John one day, and like just with each other even, just trying to understand that how mind-boggling that really is. That what you see is not what I see. And it already comes down with the fact that you're colorblind. Like that already adds to your reality and perception.
It makes it easier to explain to people
What?
the thought.
Oh yeah.
Because you can use colorblind as an example.
Yeah,
Because
where
it's a
it's
good groundwork to be like, because think about color. We don't all see the same thing,
Don't.
but we all agree the names of them.
Yes. And so that being the case means that like already our worlds are entirely different worlds. And it's like that.
But we both exist in the same.
But we exist
area.
in the same location of that reality. So what we're getting at is that it broke down to us talking about string theory and how perception, how would string theory actually work with us having different realities while being the same? Does it actually change if you were supposed to wreck or die or whatever, you start a new line, right? But does your reality actually change due to that? Like, does your reality and my reality change? Do you
So
start
are
living
you
in
telling me, hold on, are you telling me that you guys have finally come full circle to giving me my 15-year-old theses on how reality and string theory worked, and you're saying you now here 15 years later are like, I think Austin had it all the way back then when he was 15?
I mean, I don't think I disagreed with you when you were 15.
Because you remember, right, when I
Yeah.
used to spout on about what I was thinking about, like how a reality could exist and exist
Oh,
within
yeah.
this multiverse. And
Yeah, I don't think I ever
multidimensions.
disagreed with you about
Alright.
it.
Well, I'm glad to see that my life's work is being progressed through the minds of others.
I mean, but that's the thing is like you have to eventually like okay. Maybe
So
don't
do you
have
also believe that ghost image is just because time is not?
to. Ghost images?
Ghost image is just the easiest way for me to say it, to give it some sort of a like tangible feel.
Okay.
But so since all of time exists parallel to itself in this crazy mass void of future, past, present, all really being one.
yeah.
So ghost image is what I would call the fact that like every car that's driven down that road is technically driving down that road simultaneously. And that's how come we have some sort of paranormal experience. Like this plot of land that we're residing on used to have trees on it, then it had people walking through it, then it's had horses around it, and all of that is at once. And so when people feel like there's this sort of like spectral entity or thing that can show up, that's because there's some either past or future that's overlapping, that's somehow being...
Where you see like are you talking about like kind of like where you see things out of the corner of your eye?
Yeah, something is because all reality is at once. All time is at once.
Okay, I understand
It's
what you're saying.
very weird.
No,
I
no,
know
no, no.
it doesn't... It's
I
just
actually fully understand that just because that's my
Ghost,
belief
and
on
I don't
time
really
already.
mean... I don't actually mean that, like, specters.
No. You're
It's-
talking about the fact that we all exist at the same time because there's no actual such thing as time.
Which would be, I guess, that parallel reality
Yeah.
that we all live in.
Yeah,
Is
where it's
that
like-
it's these string of choices that are all simultaneously
Taking
happening.
place. And
We're just witnessing them through one, as if watching a movie.
yes, through one single lens. Is that
But
how we
the
see it?
entire film can be rolled up and it's right there.
Yeah.
That's the whole
like that.
thing. It's all exists at once, right here in my hands.
Yeah.
And then whenever I push play, we're watching it image by image.
Yes. And so yeah, no, I can actually get behind that again because that's something like I've had the argument with about like
So
Time-
science has caught up with Austin McNeely. Put it on the
Time
record.
does not exist. I don't know if science has. That's just, it's a personal opinion and belief.
I
that we
declare
have.
myself the wisest man on earth. No other institute has the authority or education enough to be able to bestow me this honor. Therefore, I bestow it upon myself.
I mean-
Austin McNeely, am the wisest man to exist.
Falls again upon the duality of reality. What you perceive and believe is the truth. No one can actually take it away from you. A madman who doesn't actually see the world the way we all see it is not crazy. They just see the reality in a different light. That's all I'm saying. The duality of reality has so many implications. Is that no matter which way you look at it, your truth, my truth, his truth, her truth, their truth, doesn't matter. It's all truth. It's just
The lens.
The lens.
It's the lens. So that's If I. Dimitri Martin had a stand-up comedy called If I way back in the day in Canada.
yeah.
And one part of his stand-up comedy, which the whole stand-up routine was built around the words "if I," and
Yeah.
just going upon like the choices that humans make and people and the lens and stuff like that. Anyways, it's very deep for being a comedy.
Okay.
I love it.
I like
because
that
it's,
idea.
It's a
Yeah.
really cool. We should watch it sometime. It's really good.
I'm down.
Because it's funny and intriguing.
Kind of my favorite type of humor.
Yeah. Anyway, so one of the things he goes over is that he takes a beer bottle and then uses every word that's on the label of that beer bottle to create a poem, and then not only a poem, but anagram? No, wait, NASCAR, race car, palindrome. He
Okay.
makes a
I was
palindrome
like-
out of it, using every word on the bottle, like the nutrition information, the ingredients, where it is, the name of it, and all that, the lore, and he makes a poem that's also a palindrome out of a beer bottle. And he said, thinking about that, it's like, so what do people see when they see this beer bottle? Me, what I saw was a challenge to make a poem. You know, and he's like, but another person says, hey, that's going to be a good time. We're going to have a good party. Another person might see the lighting on it and be like, I'm going to paint a painting of this thing.
Yeah.
Or be a photographer to be like, oh, what if it's sitting there on that windowsill? The way that, you know, it's like, just how do people see this one thing? Maybe an abused woman sees it and has PTSD. Like, who knows? This one same object, though, our lens shows us what it is.
Yeah, it gives us totally different opinions on it.
But it is just a beer bottle.
Yep.
But what is it to you is different. What you see when you see it is different.
Yeah. And again, I think that's the best title. The best way to really look at all of that. Which is why I'm glad I titled it. Because I'm coining it that duality of reality. Which, thank you guys. Because I think this is the end of the episode. Pretty positive if we made it that far. You want to check? This guy. Love you. We will talk to you guys in the next episode. Prefacing it. What are we talking about? Weddings. Talking about weddings. It's all for you, Maddie. You'll understand when that episode happens.
See you next week.
Bye! Am I supposed to sing this? Oh,
You wanna go smoke a cigarette?
yeah, I do.
You should turn it off.
Oh, that's so much work.
You gotta get up anyways.
I do. Is that me?
What was that?
Is that me?